So, what do you mean by cloud computing? Cloud computing is basically an on-demand delivery of IT resources. So, if you want to understand more about cloud computing, you have to go back like 10 years ago. So, 10 years ago, like if you want to create a website and deploy it on the servers, how the companies and people are going to manage. There is something called on-premises servers. So, you have to basically go to the market and buy some servers and deploy it in your server room. So based on the customer base, so you have to plan early and get the servers. So imagine that you have 100 users for a particular company on this year, like 2024. So they have planned for a server rack, like one rack of servers. So and they deployed on their on premises and they installed all the applications whatever required for hosting their website, and then they waited for the users to come in and access their website. So it went well like they planned for 1,000 users, sorry, 100 users. So all the 100 users are okay for them to maintain that server. So the server is capable of delivering those 100 customers. So this is continuously changing. Like they have planned for the next year. Generally, the customer base is going to increase in next year. So for that one, they basically has to plan for the next year deployment. Like, so they have to increase the server space, servers, computers. So for that one, they have planned for another rack of servers. And in the next year, they planned for one more rack and they bought one rack and they deployed it. Imagine this is the next year, like 2025, and they're expecting 200 customers overall, and they have deployed one rack of servers again. So now they have two racks of servers and they have deployed it, and the customers are okay and they are happy to access that website, and they are actually, the servers are okay to maintain and deliver the website for them. So this kind of planning they have to continue for the coming years also. So the next plan was like when they were forecasting, they got to know that the next year the customer base will increase like 500. So the plan, according to the plan, they have brought two more server racks and they have deployed on the premises. So while in the 2026, the next year, so it's a lot of money they are going to spend on their server racks. So they have to, all these server racks are useless now. So this is one kind of uh, investment which they deployed is waste for the company. So next thing, the coming year like 2027, based on the planning, like because in the previous year like 2026, they expected a lot of customers, but they did not attracted those many customers. So they kept that in mind and they have removed some of the servers and sold whatever they did, like they removed. And now currently they are maintaining only two rack of servers. So but suddenly the customer base has increased. What are they going to do? These two server racks are not able to maintain those customers. Like initially they planned for only 300 customers, but in the 2027, suddenly the customer base has increased. Like doubled the customer base, like 600 customers came to access their website, but they are not in a position to handle these servers which already there. They are not able to handle those requests. That is a failure also again. So to make this one, the cloud computing came into picture. Like what is cloud computing? Beside, it is on-demand delivery of IT resources. Like instead of we going to market and getting the server racks and deploying in on premises, so we basically log into some service like AWS or Azure or some kind of uh, cloud provider. So we create an account, and then based on the customer's requirement or based on the customer base, we'll try to create the servers whatever we require, whatever computing power we required, whatever the storage we required, we'll fix based on the customer base. So this is what cloud providers are giving to us. And not only this, uh, once the customer base is decreased, we can reduce the servers also instantly. So there are a lot of features like scalability and elasticity, one of the major feature of the cloud service providers. And the other thing is highly available fault tolerant. Like we said, um, in the 2026 we have deployed 2 rack of servers. So what if the power grid fails on the in-premise, like whatever area or company is there? At one day, imagine that power grid was failed and there is no power for the servers. So how the customers are going to handle? So this is a failure. Like no customers were able to access that servers, which are in on-premise nations. So this one also is handled by cloud services. Both of these terms like highly available and fault tolerance go hand in hand to make highly available. So other thing like scalability and elasticity also both go hand in hand. Like we should be able to scale up easily and shrink down easily based on the customers. So these two are the so these four goes hand in hand to make the cloud computing easy. So next thing, if we go to there are multiple cloud service providers. So we basically focusing on AWS, Amazon Web Services. So if you see the architecture of the AWS global infrastructure, these are the major regions where their data centers are available. So we mainly focus on the Mumbai region in India, so which is very near. The choice of the data center is like based on the customers only. Like wherever the customer base is there, we have to choose that region for deploying our instances like EC2, S3, or DS, those kind of things. So since we are in India, we are focusing on Mumbai regions only. So if the customer base is in US, we have to focus on the other regions. So and there is an orange circle with two in Mumbai. That is like the number of availability zones. This circle represents the region and the number represents the availability zone. So if you see in the Mumbai region, there are two availability zones. So if you see this picture, availability zone is basically the number indicates that, for example, it was 3. These are the 3 availability zones spread across the region. So in Mumbai region, there are only 2, but in this picture it was mentioned 3. So imagine that there are 3 in Mumbai region and 3 availability zones. They spread across the region. Like there might be some distance like 20 or 30, maybe more or less. The reason why they are availability zones is like to maintain the fault tolerant and high availability. So imagine that in one region where the first availability zone in Mumbai, this is uh, this got failed because of some floods or something kind of thing. So the second availability zone will be able to serve our hosted website or whatever the service we hosted, it will be available for the customers. So to overcome that, there are multiple availability zones in one region. So scalability is like we said, we will use the AWS console to uh, increase scale up our instance powers, and if the customer base decreases, we will instantly shrink them easily. So next, if we go to AWS console, so you basically have to create an account in AWS. So you go to console.aws.amazon.com. Try to create an account. Requires only email ID. I already have created this one. If you have time, you create this one or else follow my uh, tutorials only. Use this link to create account. It is free for 1 year. Like you have to provide your debit card or credit card. They will not deduct any money. Like they will deduct a very minor amount, like some 2-3 rupees, and they will for validation purpose only. So you plan to create an account using this link. So it requires email ID, address, a lot of things it will require for registration. So and you will get a call, or either you will get a call or OTP for validation also. So next, once you register account, so you make sure to choose the Mumbai region, Asia Pacific Mumbai region. So all our work is going to happen in this region only, because this is near for us, for our customers. So if you go here and click on all services, you see there are a lot of services. Like under compute is basically like a uh, mission they are going to allocate for us. Like imagine that they are going to create one system for us, then we're going to use that one for deploying our services. So EC2 is exactly the uh, either a laptop or a system PC. We are going to focus on this one mainly. And the second one is storage. Under storage, S3 is used for storing the files, like large files, or uh, like if you are going to host a website, or for example, if you're going to create an application like Hotstar, so there are a lot of videos, movie videos, those are going to this storage like S3, and the user interface is going to this one like EC2. All the pages, whatever we are accessing from Hotstar, all the pages will be here, and the large files like movies will be stored here. And for that, for logging into that Hotstar, all the users will be there, user accounts all those validations like uh, payments, all those things will go here in the database. RDS is basically a database. So in this RDS is relational data service. In this there are multiple flavors, like whatever server we want, we can choose, like MySQL, Postgres. There are a lot of database servers, so we can choose from one. I'll show how to create an instance at later point of time. You click on create. It will show all the major databases like MySQL, MariaDB, Oracle, Postgres, SQL Server, DB2, and there are many more. So this is one thing. And if you go back to EC2, like I said, EC2 is a computer, like maybe laptop or computer system. So if you want to create a system, so click on launch instance. And as I said, so we have to choose one operating system for that system. So there are multiple flavors. Like in Linux, there are multiple flavors, and Windows and Mac. If you choose Linux, there are a lot of flavors. Windows also there are multiple versions, like 62-bit, and lot of server versions, like based on the revision and version number. We basically focus on Amazon Linux only, or either Amazon Linux or Ubuntu. And we mostly use free tier eligible, because they're not going to charge us for free tier eligible things. So whatever is marked as free tier eligible, we'll choose that one only. We don't need more than that computing power. So from tomorrow, we are going to focus on all these services. Like as I mentioned, today is a brief introduction of what all the services are there. Coming back to the dashboard, like we saw three services now, EC2, S3, and RDS. There are many more which are basic, like VPC in the networking. In the security groups, security, security. In the networking, there is one more called IAM and Route 53. Route 53 is basically for domain DNS server. Like if we want to create a website, so and we need a domain name like Amazon.com, we have to go to Route 53 and we have to buy one domain name here and link that to our EC2 instance. So here IAM is basically user account access for this console itself and the instance access. And one more thing, for logging into the systems, like once we create an instance in the dashboard, so to logging into that mission, we'll get one key pair. So you make sure to download Putty and WinSCP and install both of them. Download this Putty and install that one. and you have to install this one also in SAP. Go to downloads and click this one. I already installed this one also. Once you install the putty, you'll see this screen. So here we are going to give the IP address of that machine, whatever we create in the dashboard, and the key which was created, we have to provide it here in the auth credentials. So then we will be able to log into that machine. So next thing, the Win SAP is like for modifying files, we basically require it. So this is also same thing but with the GUI. So make sure you install both of these and get ready for the classes.